The night wind swept across the silent city as towering buildings glowed with fading lights while cars drifted by in soft waves, leaving behind trails of faint sound and distant motion. At the old bus stop, the street lamp flickered with a tired, pale glow that landed on a small figure curled on a wooden bench hugging a torn school bag as tightly as she could for warmth. Her name was Hannah, a little girl with dust on her cheeks and worry in her eyes, a girl who had lost too much for someone so young. She had been waiting for help that never came and surviving each day with hope that felt like it was slipping away. Her stomach ached from hunger and her feet were sore from walking, yet she lifted her chin and tried to whisper courage to herself, wishing everything would be different. Across the street, a black car slowed at the traffic light. Inside sat Rayan, Malik, the youngest self-made millionaire, CEO in the city, known for his sharp mind, fearless deals, and a heart that few had ever seen. He glanced to his right and noticed the tiny shape huddled under the flickering lamp. Then his chest tightened in a way he did not expect. Something about her loneliness and the quiet strength in her eyes pulled him in, as if fate itself was calling him to stop. The light turned green, but he did not move. He kept staring, trying to understand why a child was alone in the cold night. The question echoed inside him louder than the humming engine. "Come with me," whispered his heart, though he did not know why. Rayan stepped out of the car and walked toward her. His footsteps slow, gentle, unsure, as if afraid to frighten her. Hannah's head lifted when she sensed someone near her, eyes wide but cautious, her small hands gripping her school bag like a shield. "Are you all right?" he asked softly, kneeling to her level, his voice calm with a warmth that surprised even him. She nodded, but the tremble in her voice betrayed her. "I'm just waiting, sir," but she did not say for what. Because there was no one left to wait for. Rayan studied her face, the dark shadows under her eyes, the brave way she fought against tears, the thin sweater that barely covered her shoulders. "Let me help you," he said suddenly, without thinking, driven by something deeper than logic. But Hannah shook her head, insisting she was fine, insisting she did not want to trouble anyone, though her voice was too fragile to believe. Rayan felt something shift inside him, a quiet, unstoppable resolve that made him speak with firmer, gentler strength. "You are coming with me." Hannah blinked, staring at him, not believing what she heard. "Come with me," he repeated, extending his hand with steady assurance. For a moment she hesitated. The world had not been kind to her, but there was something in his eyes. Something true, something safe. Slowly, hesitantly, she placed her tiny hand in his, and the world changed inside the car. Hannah sat beside him, her hands folded tightly on her lap while her eyes darted around in awe, confusion, and fear. Rayan instructed his driver to head to the nearest 24-hour diner, the warm light spilling from its windows like a promise. They entered, and a soft wave of heat wrapped around Hannah, who had not felt warmth like this in days. Rayan ordered food for her, more than she could ever imagine eating, and she blinked at the plates set in front of her. "Go on," he said gently. Hannah hesitated, then took a bite and another until tears streamed down her cheeks, not from the food but from the feeling of being cared for. "Why were you at the bus stop?" he asked. She explained in small, quiet words how she lost her mother, how her distant relatives refused to take her, how she wandered from shelter to shelter, how every door felt closed. Rayan listened, his heart heavy with each word, and when she finished, she waited. She expected pity or disbelief or coldness, but instead she saw something she had not seen before. Determination, a promise forming behind his calm, steady eyes. "You deserve more than this, Hannah." Her lips trembled as she whispered, "Why?" Rayan looked at her, and for the first time in years he felt the weight of his own childhood return, memories of nights alone after losing his parents, memories of people turning away from him, memories of promises broken. "Maybe because I know what it feels like," he finally said. Hannah stared at him, surprised that someone powerful, someone respected, someone who seemed unshakable, had ever felt the way she did. He continued, "You do not deserve loneliness. You do not deserve fear. You deserve safety and warmth and a chance to dream." Hannah lowered her head, overwhelmed by emotions she had buried for too long. Rayan leaned forward, his voice soft and steady. "You will not sleep at a bus stop again, I promise you." Her tiny hands clutched her bag, holding on to hope as if afraid it might disappear. When they stepped back into the car, she whispered, "Thank you, sir," almost too quiet to hear. Rayan shook his head. "Not sir, just Rayan." She repeated his name slowly with a small shy smile, and that single moment felt like the spark of a new beginning for both of them. Ryan brought Hana to his penthouse, a vast space filled with silent luxury, but tonight it felt different, alive, warmer, because someone fragile and hopeful had entered it. He showed her a guest room, and when she stepped inside, she froze, stunned by the soft bed, the bright colors, the gentle warmth. "Is this all for me?" she whispered, unsure. "For you," he said, and for the first time that night he saw her shoulders relax a little. She washed up, changed into clothes given by Rayon's house staff, and returned looking like a child who had finally found air to breathe. Rayan made her hot chocolate and sat with her in the living room, the city lights glittering behind them like 1,000 tiny wishes. "Do you go to school?" he asked. "Not anymore," she murmured quietly. "Would you like to go again?" Her eyes sparkled with a hope she tried to hide. "Yes, very much." He nodded then without hesitation. He made a silent promise to rebuild her life brick by brick. That night when Hana fell asleep in the warm bed, she held her pillow like it was the safest place she had known. Rayan watched from the doorway, thinking how strange and powerful fate was, how a single moment at a traffic light had changed the direction of 2 lives. The next morning, Hana awoke to the scent of breakfast, something she had not experienced in months. Rayan was waiting at the table, reading documents while sipping tea, looking more like the powerful CEO the world knew, but his expression softened when he saw her. "Sid, you have a big day ahead," he told her. "A big day?" she asked. "Yes, we are going to fix everything." Hana did not fully understand, but she trusted him. Rayan took her to a clothing store, bought new shoes, a backpack, books, warm jackets, items she had never imagined owning. Employees whispered in surprise because the feared CEO, known for his cold business style, was suddenly gentle and patient with a child. From there, he drove her to a prestigious school and handled the paperwork himself, something he had not done for anyone in years. When the admissions officer asked, "Who is she to you?" Rayan looked at Hana, then answered with calm certainty, "She is someone who deserves a future." Hana's heart swelled, not with fear or sadness, but with something she had long forgotten: belonging. Over the next weeks, Hana bloomed like a flower finally given sunlight. She studied hard, made friends, laughed freely, and came home each day with stories that filled the once quiet penthouse with warmth. Rayan felt himself changing too, his once lonely life now filled with small footsteps, laughter, drawings taped to the fridge, and the sound of someone calling his name. One evening she brought him a handmade card with the words, "Thank you for choosing me." He stared at the message, feeling an ache in his chest, one he had not experienced in years. "Hana," he said, kneeling beside her gently, "I did not choose you. Fate brought us together, but I will stand by you as long as you need me." Her eyes welled with tears, but these were tears of hope. Rayan wiped them softly and promised, "You are not alone anymore." Hana hugged him tightly, and in that embrace he felt something he had never known: family. Months passed, and the bond between them only grew stronger. Rayan attended her school events, cheered for her victories, guided her through challenges, and gave her the steady foundation she needed. Hana flourished, transforming from the frightened girl at the bus stop into a confident, bright student with dreams bigger than the sky. One evening she stood on the penthouse balcony, looking at the glowing city, and whispered, "Rayan." "Yes, Hana. Thank you for that night." He walked beside her, resting a hand gently on her shoulder. "That night changed my life too," he said. The wind brushed past them, carrying away fear and loneliness, leaving only strength and hope in its place. Hana smiled, lifting her face to the sky, ready for a future she once thought impossible. And Rayan stood beside her, knowing that sometimes the smallest act of kindness, the simplest words, "Come with me," could rewrite the story of a lifetime.